Throwing now is Mahomes. Short throw hauled in by Kelsey. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. Short completion, just 4 yards, and it's second down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
In motion, the tight end, Kelsey. Pacheco gets it up the gut. And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46. The completion on first didn't get much, and now the run on second doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation. Already down on his play sheet, trying to dial up a big third down play.
From the gun on third down, Mahomes. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Chiefs first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
3rd and 4 is always a tough call. Maybe a little too long to run for it, but not too long to hit him on the quick slant. And that was well executed. Found the window.
Yo, and also, y'all, I don't mean to interrupt the video, but the 2 videos that I had, gameplay videos I had yesterday, they was very short. I understand. I wish they was a lot longer. But guess what, though? These 3 videos, well, I'm working on one right now as we speak, but 2 more, they're going to be long as hell. So just believe it's not going to be short. I'm sorry, y'all, that y'all had to watch those short, but y'all put a lot of views up on that bitch, though. I ain't going to lie. Y'all hit that like button. That's what I like, bro. That's what I like, bro. But it's not, this channel's not built on just for views and for subscribers. It's built on a community, for us to be a family, because we are a family. It's for entertainment. I love doing this. I don't do this for views. I do this because I love it. And yes, I do ask you guys to subscribe or like. But guess what, though? Every YouTuber says that. You know, I say that so you guys can come back and watch my videos, so you guys would never miss a video.
And this is going to be intercepted.
So yeah, y'all enjoy the rest of the video.
Get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20.
Definitely not the ideal time to see that mistake, partner, because this is still a one-possession game, and that's at least a field goal that just vanished with that turnover. Now, pressure's on defensively to prevent that pick from turning into points for the other side.
And Denver getting set to take the field. As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like, because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Chris Jones that time coming in with a tackle behind the line.
And they have just not been able to block him at all throughout this game. Seems like every other play, he's doing something in the backfield. Already got 2 sacks, and now here's a tackle behind the line.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter, 14-7. Behind the chain, 2nd and 12. Throwing Nix. Open man downfield. It's Vele. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards.
Well, as my dad would say sometimes, I'm just scratching my head here trying to figure out what was going on there defensively. How did you lose him in the middle of the field? If you're going to lose a receiver, make sure it's someone on the short side of things, not deep downfield, that can hurt your defense.
That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
Now it's Nix. And he will find his man on the outside. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Third and 12. Here's Nix. He completes this to Sutton. And they're going to get him down well short of the first, as he can only get this to about the 19. And after that play, we've got an injury, and it appears to be to Courtland Sutton. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. Now Lutz for the field goal try. From the left hash, it's a 36-yard attempt. The kick by Lutz is good. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The Chiefs going to go back on offense here late in this first half. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield. Complete. The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. And from the 34, here's 2nd and 4. To throw, it's Mahomes. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's
Another pick.
picked off by Pat Surtain. And he's able to get
Oh, another interception.
1-yard line.
Certainly feels like the classic second guess, but let's be honest about it. They had a chance going to halftime with the lead. Why did they take a chance with a throw there? I don't understand that.
Well, that's what I'm wondering, and now this defense has to try to protect that lead going into the locker room. The Broncos going to go on offense now late in this first half. And now they start in plus territory following that turnover, as they'll try to get some points here before halftime. Off the play fake, here's Nix. He'll get that complete to Vele. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a first down.
They hit that crossing route really well. Excellent timing, puts it right on him, and he keeps running.
Yeah, turned it upfield for good yardage. And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half. A final shot before break. Nix finds his tight end Ingram. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
This has certainly been a fun one to watch so far. We knew this was going to be a battle, and we have not been disappointed. This is the kind of game that could wind up hinging on which side could play mistake-free football the rest of the way.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. Ready for the start of the third quarter. The Chiefs have the lead and set to receive the football. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Here comes the Chiefs offensive unit as they'll have it to begin quarter number 3. And, Charles, they've got the lead. I would imagine the overall halftime tone was a positive one, but what do you think the talking points were in the locker room?
Well, if there were 3 talking points at the half, partner, all of them were about turnovers because they were pretty loose with the ball. Otherwise, this lead could be even bigger. Now, I don't think that they overly harped on it, but I think they told them, guys, if you want to keep calling those plays that are exciting, you've got to take care of the ball. Otherwise, we may have to dial things back a little bit.
And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. First down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
That crossing route is so effective when you hit it just right because you get a guy on the move, and then we see the end result there.
It's a nightmare for the defense. They got a guy with a full head of steam.
Not only does he catch it, but he picks up additional yardage after it.
Mahomes going to throw. That's into the hands of Worthy once again. That'll give him 8 that time, and that'll bring up a second down in just a couple. And again, it's Mahomes. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Rice. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Rashee Rice, his second touchdown of the night. And the Chiefs take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his second touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Butker now to add the extra point. It's good, and it's 21-10. So that drive, 4 plays. And it winds up with the Chiefs hitting pay dirt. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And it's a pretty good return here, so he'll get this up to the 29. So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half. And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially. but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
Nix to the air. Got a man, that's Trent Sherfield. So the completion good for 6 yards, and it's second down. Nix from the shotgun. That's taken in left side by Vele. He's up to 88 yards receiving in the ball game now, and he's got a first down. To throw, here's Nix. A short throw to Ingram. So the completion good for just 3. And that's going to bring up second down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
From the 47 now, they work with a 2nd and 7. Now a handoff up the middle. It's Harvey. And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line. That one good for 13 and a Denver first down.
Well, they've certainly been successful throwing it around in this game, and that's allowed them to move the ball on offense. But I've got to tell you, to watch them run the football and successfully, I'm not taking sides. But to see the ball in a running back's hands, oh, that's football for me.
This one into the hands of Burton. They'll wind up getting just a yard out of it, and that will bring up second down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Ball on the 40 now. Here's a 2nd and 9. To throw is Nix. He'll find his tight end. It's Adam Troutman. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. First target, first catch, and a first down.
He's certainly done a nice job spreading the field on this drive, and here he finds his big tight end for good yardage. And that's what you have to do. Keep defenses guessing about where you're going to go with the football.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. They'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. A very solid gain of 27.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense, got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sacked back at the 9-yard line. Nick Bolton coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, if you're going to throw the ball on first and goal from the 2, the worst thing that should result is an incompletion for you offensively. But, Brandon, this is a different type of football. Back in my day, first and goal from the 2, a lot of big people with big neck rolls, they were on the field trying to ram it into the end zone.
Straight ahead, Estime. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Bo Nix, a 9-yard touchdown run. And the Broncos have got it back to within a score.
Hey, you're down on the scoreboard, but now your offense is in close, and this is where, as a quarterback, you say, I've got to make a play here. Doesn't matter whether it's a pinpoint throw or a scramble like this one. He takes matters into his own hands and delivers a touchdown run.
And now the offense is going to stay out there as the Broncos will go for 2. They'll try and throw for it. And unable to connect. They don't get the 2-point conversion here. Should have been picked. Probably doesn't matter on a 2-point conversion, but still, as a former DB, you want to grab that ball when you can, don't you?
You certainly do, and don't say it, because I know you're thinking it. Don't say it.
What am I thinking?
You know what I know what you're thinking. Well, if he'd had hands, he'd be playing on offense, right?
That's true. You've said that before. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. The Chiefs offense and Patrick Mahomes headed back onto the field. And he's been a nightmare to scheme against throughout this one. This defense has been totally taken apart, and that is borne out in his numbers. He's been terrific all game long. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. So both of these teams, Charles, coming off touchdowns now, but this offense, they just had to stand on the sideline, watch their opponent author a really impressive drive to reach the end zone.
Yeah, and I think you're not telling yourself the truth if you don't think there's some one-upsmanship going on right now, because they just had their touchdown answered by a drive of double-digit plays that also found the end zone. Now they want to do something even more impressive to answer that one.
So from the 37, here's 2nd down and 1. Now here's Mahomes. And Mahomes misfires again, and it's intercepted. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. Well,
they got Patrick Mahomes on lockdown. You ain't going nowhere. You ain't passing that ball. We got you locked down, nigga.
In a normal ledger sheet, if you can balance everything, you feel good about your day. But as a quarterback, you need your ratio to be more like 3 touchdown passes.
I go wherever you go.
Denver's offense ready to go again. Following the interception, they're set up nicely.
He ain't going nowhere.
Inside the red zone, knocking on the door, if you will. 1st and 10. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Throwing to start the drive. Nix. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. Second and 2, 1st down marker at the 5-yard line. In motion right, one of the tight ends. On the give, it's Estime. He gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the 1st down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Marvin Mims from 4 yards out. And the Broncos have moved out in front here in the final minute of the 3rd quarter. An out route there for the score, a quick out route there for the score.
Yeah, you're not really surveying the defense on this one. You're just counting on timing, making this play happen. 1-2, ball's out of his hands, knows where he's going, just puts it to the outside. Touchdown.
And now the offense is going to stay out there as the Broncos will go for 2. They'll look to throw. steps away to his left. And he'll get into the end zone to push the lead up to a field goal. So that effort gives him a 3-point cushion and guarantees that a field goal going forward won't beat them.
Yeah, that's really good strategy because that's all you care about. Not getting beat at this stage. At least give your team a fighting chance.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. A lane opens here. He's past the 30. And they got to be pleased with this. He brings it all the way up to the 40-yard line. The Chiefs offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And it's been a rough night at the office for him. He's been more of a liability than an asset throughout the contest. And this offense is having a hard time overcoming his struggles to this point.
That strong return has set them up nicely for this drive. And we all know the next score is going to have a major impact on this game.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
In motion, the tight end, Kelsey. Throwing now is Mahomes. He'll check this one down to Pacheco.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
3rd and 4. Looking to throw is Mahomes. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Chiefs first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back now to Denver. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. A give right side for Pacheco. And he's got it to about the 40.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
Here's a 2nd and 8. They'll send the tight end in motion. Here's Mahomes to throw. And that'll be incomplete.
They certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
Big 3rd down. A field goal from this spot, 57 yards as they hope to move it a little closer. In motion, the tight end, Kelsey. Mahomes now to throw. Got a man over the middle, Worthy. And he will have a Chiefs first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That's not the first time they've looked his way when they've needed a big play. He's been the go-to guy all game long. And they get the hook up again on 3rd down to keep this drive alive.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Headed straight, it's Pacheco. And a hard-working run here as he's got it inside the 20, down to the 17. Give him 15 yards on that one. Kansas City has a 1st down.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Now Mahomes. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception.
Another pick.
And the Broncos force the turnover, and they'll take over at the 10.
So rare to see any quarterback toss back-to-back interceptions in the NFL, regardless of status or experience. Whether it's him personally or just the offensive game plan, I think this defense is reading something out there, and they're holding the upper hand.
Denver's offense now set to go. Another important 4th quarter series coming up. That last INT helping to maintain their slim advantage. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a 1st down.
And what a tough spot for this defense because they know it's coming, but they're just powerless to stop it. What a great run there to start the drive. And you can bet there'll be more where that came from as they try to ice this game away.
First down, here's Estime. And he stopped immediately there.
Holding offense.
So not a lineman, but the tight end instead this time, drawing the holding call.
And more what you're getting with tight ends are guys who are much more receiver than blocker. They may be willing, but that might not be their thing. Oftentimes, they'll be the ones getting the penalties.
And he goes across the 20 to the 22. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Here's Nix. A short throw to Ingram. And he'll be upended here after a pickup of 3, getting it out to the 25.
The completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
The Broncos on 3rd down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This is 3rd and 11. Now it's Nix. He finds his man, complete. That's Harvey. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. They'll wind up losing a couple yards here on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
They'll send this away into the Rocky Mountain night, and it's a good one. Now a fair catch signaled for and made right about the 43-yard line. It's just a 30-yard punt that time, no return. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 44. They'll start the drive here with Pacheco. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. To throw, it's Mahomes. And the Broncos get there and take him down. Call it a loss of 5, a big sack to bring up 3rd down. Well, it was 2nd long, now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
Gonna need better protection here. 3rd and long following the sack from Mahomes and company. They'll set up to throw. He's going to float this one deep right side. And this is caught inside the 5. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Xavier Worthy, 63 yards. And the Chiefs use the defensive breakdown to take the lead away here in the 4th. Might be seeing that one on the highlight shows tonight. The home run ball here in the 4th quarter to take the lead.
There's nothing like being aggressive, preaching that to your team, and then following through. All the way through. Go ahead and throw one more up there. Why not?
Been a great game, and we are not done yet. Butker on for the PAT. And that will make this a 4-point game. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it's capped off with a Kansas City touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. We certainly have a good one on our hands. They're trailing after that last touchdown, but now a chance for this offense to try to snag that lead right back here in the 4th quarter. Throwing, Nix. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Harvey. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Looking to throw. Nix. He finds his man complete. It's Harvey. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard. Heck of a play there to get to him quickly and get him down for a loss.
I think they did a really nice job getting ready for this game, scouting, watching film, and understanding defensively what the play design was.
Working out of the gun is Nix. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. We'll get that complete to Vele. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
Brandon, it's okay what they're doing right now. Still able to work the middle of the field, but you know sooner or later they're going to have to stop the clock.
Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's 1st and 10 now. Back to throw. He'll connect on the out route with Ingram. And he is going to get out of bounds with the 1st down. So that's going to double their pleasure for sure. They get the 1st and save a timeout. And I believe the referee's been buzzed. Yeah, they want to take another look at this call, and it's certainly a big one here late in a tight game. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call. So the folks in New York just going to wind up confirming what the official saw, as this play will stand as is. Here's 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. That's George Karlaftis, who fought his way through the line to bury him.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has now received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
They'll come up now. This is 2nd and long. He's back to throw. Over the middle, he finds Vele.
It drives some people crazy to see those short throws underneath. They've got to find a way to gash the defense downfield.
Here now, 3rd down. They'll look to throw. And that's to the left sideline and incomplete. So this defense, they looked a little shaky to start the drive, but bottom line, they're a play away from finishing it off.
They rocked them a little bit on this drive, didn't they? But as you and I both know, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. They have a chance to end it right here.
No choice but to go. Here's 4th down now. They'll go for it. Here's Nix. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Chiefs' defense comes up with a stop. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. They have the lead, still a one-possession game, but the defense got the stop. They've got the football now, just salted away, right?
Exactly. That's all the defense is counting on from their offense. They did their job in a big way. You know they're over on the sidelines now starting to take their tape off, and, hey, we've done this thing. The offense has to put it away, and that means ball security.
Absolutely. Stranger things have happened. He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. And he will have a Chiefs 1st down. And that's the one that should seal the victory. So this one in the win column for Kansas City. And a little bit of a surprise, they lose the turnover battle, but wind up winning the ball game.
And this is very unusual because you know all teams stress winning the turnover battle as a key indicator to winning ball games. So when you get something that goes against the grain like the one we saw here, it's quite the oddity. Now, let's face it, they'll be very happy that they pulled this off, but they do know that in the future, they've got work on taking care of the football because this won't happen very often.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports.